Thank you guys for tuning in. In this video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different as I'll be converting my golf simulator into a racing simulator. Now don't worry, I'm not getting rid of my golf simulator that I've had for nearly 4 years, 4-year update coming soon, as I absolutely love this thing. Rather, I'm going to show you just how versatile an indoor golf simulator is, as you essentially have a massive screen inside of your house that you can use for several different things aside from just being a golf simulator, like a racing sim setup that I'll be showing you in this video. Now, let me be clear, I'm not really a huge gamer, which may come as a surprise to some of you considering the channel and the intro are focused around a video game. I actually got this idea when I was on a recent road trip. I drive an electric car, so I had to stop and charge, and inside of my car it has built-in video games where one of them is a racing simulator game where you actually use the steering wheel in the car to control the vehicle on the game. I immediately had the thought that I could actually make a racing sim setup that I can utilize in this golf sim and take advantage of this massive screen. Now, just like simulators, there are so many options out there of different things you can get, different setups you can get from different manufacturers. But the key element of a racing setup is basically the cockpit, which is essentially the seat that you sit in that holds the steering wheel and the pedals in place. And I ended up settling on the Logitech Playseat trophy. I went with this option based on reviews. I liked also the adjustability that it offers, so that way my kids can use it as well. And honestly, I just thought it looked the best out of all the options that were out there. The retail on this item is $600, which is a little bit pricey, and there are some less expensive options out there, but I mainly went with this one just because the features and the build quality for what you're getting for the $600 seem like the best bet for me. And since I ordered it, I actually ordered a second one that I'm going to be giving to somebody. If you subscribe to the channel and you comment down below, also like this video if you can, I'm going to do a live drawing where I'm giving one of these away. And let me just grab this thing. Oh my God. So it's not light. So I have a second brand new unit, and like I said, subscribe and comment down below and we'll do a live drawing where we're going to be giving this away to one of you. And no, you do not have to pay for shipping. We're going to cover the shipping costs as well. If you're located outside the US and shipping isn't an option, don't worry, we'll figure something out and we'll make sure that you either get a unit or we supply you with the means to be able to get one of these units for yourself. And just to be clear, this video is not sponsored in any way. I paid for all of this myself. I just wanted to do this as I had that thought, and I felt I might as well film this whole process in case somebody is interested in doing this as well. And I just want to give back and show my love and appreciation to all the viewers and subscribers. Putting this Playseat trophy together didn't take long at all using the supplied instructions. It was pretty easy and straightforward, and it has a really good build quality that I noticed right after assembly, and I really like the portability of it as this is going to be an addition and not a permanent thing. I also needed a steering wheel and obviously a set of pedals to make it complete, so I ended up going with the Logitech G Pro racing wheel and the racing pedals to match. Now let me be clear, I got a little carried away with this portion of the build. It's not necessary to buy a wheel and pedals that are this expensive. The cost was well over $1,000. You can get another offering from Logitech with a wheel and the pedals for under $300, and I'm sure you'll still have a blast on that as well. The main reason I went with these components is I wanted to get the full experience, and they had great reviews aside from the price. The steering wheel has 11 newton meters of force feedback. That's basically the torque that it puts back on the wheel, which is pretty crazy and extremely powerful, and it does a really good job replicating real world feedback. This wheel also features Logitech's True Force feedback, which is an additional component inside of the wheel that offers some vibration and feedback of roads and different conditions that works on selected games. Now, this wheel and pedals don't need to be mounted on a racing setup necessarily. They come with an included clamp where you can clamp the wheel onto a desk or a table, making it even further portable if you wanted to move this in like a home office or a different portable setup. Because the wheel and pedals are Logitech brand, they bolted to the Logitech Playseat with ease using the supplied screws and Velcro straps to make everything look nice and clean. The Playseat trophy is extremely well made. It has multiple adjustments, including the steering wheel angle, pedal adjustments. You could even adjust how much the seat reclines forward or backwards, making it awesome for being able to adjust to all different sizes. The wheel offers a quick release feature, making it really easy to get in and out of the cockpit if you had too many tacos. The wheel also features magnetic paddle shifters that when actuated have a really nice feel. It also has an onboard LCD display where you can go in there and make different adjustments to how the wheel feedback is and all those different things. And it even has a red line indicator that shows when to shift in the game. The pedals follow suit here with a load cell brake that feels extremely realistic. and has pressure detection that can be adjusted from the wheel settings. It also has easily swappable springs to change the feel of the clutch and gas pedal, as well as a swappable elastomer insert to adjust the brake pedal feel itself. What you're left with is a really awesome setup that can be easily moved out of the way when not in use. To hook the whole thing up, it has just one USB cable to go to your console or PC and one power cable. I got the steering wheel option that allows connection with PC or PlayStation, as my kids have a PS5 and I wanted them to be able to enjoy this as well when I'm using the simulator. If you've been following the channel, you'll know that I built a PC to run in my golf sim setup, but aside from it being focused on a golf sim, it's actually an extremely powerful gaming PC that you could hook this racing sim to up as well. In this video, however, I decided to run the racing sim setup on the PS5 by bringing it into the golf sim to show people how versatile a golf sim actually is. Hooking it up was straightforward, as I have an HDMI cable running from my 4K BenQ LK936ST projector down to my PC, and all I have to do is unhook it and plug it into the PS5. Then just hook the USB cable from the racing sim to the PS5 and then plug it into an outlet. I wanted to go one step further and add surround sound to the setup, as I'm a bit of an audiophile, and since I use the sim as a movie theater as well, I have a JBL soundbar that easily plugs in via a power cable I have accessible under my screen, and it also has a wireless subwoofer and detachable speakers that turn into wireless rear surrounds. I'll link this soundbar in the description down below if you're interested. Since I have a 4:3 aspect ratio for my sim setup and the PS5 runs in a widescreen, I had to go into the projector settings and use the resize option to make it fit the screen, but this was easy and took just seconds. However, I soon found out that the PS5 is very stubborn with its Bluetooth compatibility, and it wasn't finding my soundbar, which seems to be a problem for a lot of people. But I found a workaround by adding a USB-C Bluetooth dongle that made it connect in seconds. I'll link that in the description as well if you're interested. And that was it. It was officially ready for gameplay, and the image looked amazing on the 4K BenQ projector. It obviously was no match for my 77-inch LG OLED TV, but the sheer scale of having that massive screen and the clarity it offered made the experience 10 times more engaging. And while I admittedly sucked at driving, I was getting better and better the more laps I hit. Logitech's signature True Force feedback was much appreciated in Gran Turismo 7, as I can feel the vibrations as I was tearing off the road, and when I crashed, that direct drive wheel force was absolutely insane with the torque it was able to put out. The power of that direct drive Logitech G Pro wheel with the 11 Newton meters of force made it awesome, as you can really feel the oversteer and understeer feedback you were getting from it. However, it was way too powerful for my wife and kids to use. Fortunately, however, you can adjust the force very easily on the wheel using its helpful built-in LCD display, along with several other adjustments for your ideal setup. The same can be done with tuning the pedals using the supplied dampers and springs, and they are really easy to swap out, and the wheel interface allows further adjustments to the pedals as well, since they are connected via USB to the wheel. Overall, this experience was so much fun, and I can definitely see why so many people have these racing setups in their homes as well, including several celebrities. Now, the big question here is, am I planning on keeping it? Well, I'm a bit of a sucker for my daughters and they really seem to love it. I am also seeing a great opportunity here to teach them how to drive, as it offers a lot of real world feedback. Though learning how to drive in a race car probably isn't the way to go. Fortunately, Gran Turismo offers regular car options that maintain the dynamics of that car's specs, making it a little more relatable for them. I think what I'll do here is maybe return the expensive G Pro wheel and pedals, as they have a great return policy, and maybe pick up a set of the sub $300 offering from Logitech, as I had to turn down the force feedback for them anyway. However, I personally like the option of being able to crank it up when I use it, so I'm a bit torn. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below so you are entered into that live drawing to win the Logitech Playseat trophy that I'm going to ship right to your door. As always, links to everything I used in this video, as well as all the products I use in my golf simulator setup, will be listed in the descriptions down below, and I'll see you guys on the next video. All right, gotta remember to brake, downshift, still too hot. Fourth gear, third gear, second gear. All right, let's ease off, brake, downshift, second, there we go. Oh, wrong gear. Oh my God, not again. Downshift.